I've helped numerous families relocate here to Celina, Texas, and a lot of the first questions I get asked is really like, is it really an hour away from everything? How far is it from Frisco? Is my neighborhood actually by anything? So that's what I'm going to go over. We're going to be doing a map tour of Celina, Texas, let you get a lay of where the neighborhoods are, where your closest grocery stores are, how far you really are from Plano, Legacy West, and Dallas. So by the end of this video, you're going to know not only where all the major neighborhoods are, but also your commute times, major roads you're going to use, where the shopping is today, and what growth is coming in the future. So you see me looking over here, I have my laptop up with the map. So really first to start, obviously we need to zoom out and know where Celina is. So zooming out, of course you can tell it's a little bit further north of a suburb, but it's not as far as it looks on the map. Now, it would be great if my map would load. Okay, here we go, it loaded. So obviously it's right between Prosper and Gunter, and of course, north of Dallas. So you have Denton over here, you zoom in, we have Plano, Allen, McKinney, the Colony, Frisco right here. So it's close to a lot of major cities, but you know, in 2010, Celina had a population of 6,000 people, and today it's at around 62,000. So it's grown a lot. Now, its growth rate is actually the fastest growing city right now here in North Texas, and a lot of that has to do with the Dallas North Tollway extension and Dallas Growth Corridor. So let's jump into some of your major roads right now and what that looks like. So zooming in on Celina. So, well, before we zoom in, you look, this road right here that runs through Frisco, Addison, all the way down to Dallas, that's the Dallas North Tollway. Now, as you can tell, it kind of stops right here at 380, which we'll talk about in a moment, but there is a 6-mile extension that's happening, and it's going to extend up through Celina. Now, right there where I paused, Old Celina Park, tons of great neighborhoods right by it, lots to do, but that's another video. So talking about roads you're going to use, of course, Dallas North Tollway and Preston Road, which is also known as Highway 289 right here, are going to be two of your major roads. Of course, if you commute down into Dallas, which we'll get into commute times a little bit later, if you commute to Dallas or Plano or Frisco, you're going to use the Dallas North Tollway. If you hate tolls and want to avoid them, you're going to be in some stop and go traffic on Highway 289 or just on the access road of the Dallas North Tollway. Now, if you work over to Plano, you're right, let's see, Plano is right here. So you could also take DNT to 121 and over, depending what part of Plano, or if you work in McKinney, that's going to be a good one for you. Now, if you can see, recently viewed, Ron's Automotive, that's where I take my truck for all its work. They're great if you need a good mechanic when you move here. But something else to talk about is this Collin County outer loop right here. So this just opened probably about a year ago. Still not super well known, even by the locals. It's started to get a little bit more busy, but this is a great connection, and you can tell it runs right through Celina. You have the parks at Wilson Creek we're going to talk about, and this extension actually comes through and it's going to go through Cambridge Crossing, which is another great neighborhood. I have tons of videos over all of these. So if you see any communities and we talk about any that pique your interest, search my channel. I probably have a video over them with some home tours. So of course, the Collin County outer loop is great because you don't have to get on 380 if you want to cut across. So that's a big advantage, especially it spits you out just north of Buc-ee's. You've got Melissa right here, Highway 75, and then that goes up. So if you work anywhere north McKinney, you may take the outer loop to 75, or you may come down 380. Now, so Highway 380 is not good, in my opinion. Now, it's gotten a lot better. There's some stop and go traffic. Obviously, during peak times is when it's really, really bad, but when you come in to visit, definitely take your travel route. I always recommend the first day you're here, drive your commute route, drive around, figure out the lay of the land and where it is. Now, if you have any questions, whether you're thinking of making a move, you're just early in your home search, whether you're coming here in the next 9 days or 9 months, reach out to me. I'd love to help you make a smooth move here, but kind of need to talk about, right, just Celina, so you know where it is on the map. Now, there's a ton of other great roads and expansions happening. It's part of the growth and kind of sucks, but let's talk about downtown Celina. So you have the old Celina Park right here. Then you also have the Celina Square, which I don't know what's going on with my map. So while the map loads, this is like downtown Celina. It's like downtown McKinney, downtown Frisco. It's a little bit older. a lot more walkable to shops and dining. You have Lucy's on the square, which is one of my favorites, but you have a ton of community events here as well, which is a huge bonus and why a ton of people love Celina. You have Cajun Fest every year, which is crawfish. You have Christmas on the square. You have a ton of other events and a ton of great walkability and shopping. Now, Tender Smokehouse is also great. They are closed on Mondays. I forgot that. Tried to go the other day. They were closed. So you've got a ton. You're going to have some farmers markets, events, lots of coffee. You're not going to have like a Starbucks right down here, but you're going to have some I like the smaller coffee shops. They have a way cooler feel. So you have a ton to do down here in downtown Celina. I definitely spend an afternoon, part of a day when you come to visit. If you're considering a move here, just checking it out, see if you like the feel of Celina, because it's a lot smaller feel than like Prosper and especially Frisco. Frisco's a lot busier and more expensive. Celina's done a really good job of doing their best to preserve that small town feel. Now it's growing super rapidly. So in 5 years, I don't know what that'll look like, but the downtown square definitely does a good job of that. But let's kind of talk about dividing Celina into sections, if you will. A ton of people like to spread it into east and west. I really feel like it should be divided into north and south, but I'll go over both. Now, this east side over here is of course closer to Prosper, your DNT. DNT is kind of the dividing line, if you will, if you want to do it east and west. But this section right here is of course closer to McKinney, the DNT, Prosper. You're going to have a little bit quicker access, but honestly, all of this is pretty good right here. Pretty quick access. I'd draw the line about right here, kind of right where the square is, Old Celina Park and north. Here, you're about 45 minutes or an hour to Dallas. Up here, you're going to be an hour to an hour and 15 to Dallas, which I'm going to go more into commute times later. But I would focus on finding the right community first, and watching this map tour is going to help you understand where everything's located in relevance to what you need. You may work in downtown Dallas every day. You may work from home, so you may buy up here in North Sky or Ramble or Legacy Hills and get a little bit more home for your money, versus if you buy down here in like Light Farms or Cambridge Crossing, where there's a little bit more of a price tag since they're right off the Dallas North Tollway. Now, if you zoom in right here on Legacy Hills, right, this is one of the furthest north communities in Celina. They're expecting in 2028 for there to be an HEB right outside Legacy Hills. So once you get that, I feel like further south Celina becomes a little less attractive unless you're a commuter, because you're going to have your grocery store right there. Now, it may not be 2028. The Prosper HEB has to hit a certain sales number for them to open it. I don't know. Some HEB profit calculation, which makes sense. They're a business, so they're not going to put a business, it's not going to be profitable. So they see the growth. If you're seeing HEBs, they do their research a lot on where to put their grocery stores. So if you see one, it's in a good place. Now, before we get into your communities and commute times, let's kind of just show you where everything is. So let me pop out here. I'll show you, right, if we just do general Celina, right, to that Prosper HEB, just to show you real commute times and kind of where it is. So this Prosper HEB, right, it's going to be right off the DNT extension. So, if you live up here in Legacy Hills, it's going to be, 25, 30 minutes. Whereas if you're one of these southern ones, it's not near as bad. So it's much more manageable of a commute. Now, if you work down in Plano, Legacy West, which I'll show you here in a minute, you can just hit it on your way back from work, and it's super convenient. That's what I do right now. I live just north of Anna, which is just east of Celina. I just hit that HEB on my way home. So a lot of your major shopping, you have Gates of Prosper as well. I'll show you where that is, or you have a pen. So Gates of Prosper is, again, right here off 380. So that's going to be a lot of your shopping, dining, and entertaining, as well as this 380 corridor. As you can tell, you have Cinemark right here. You've had a bunch of shops go in, dining all along 380. So yes, it is a little trafficy, but you have a Home Depot right outside of, it's right here, right outside of Windsong Ranch. Oh, there it is. I was a little over. I was like, I know it's right outside it. Home Depot's right there. You have your Catholic Church, Medical Center. So I'm talking about, you have your Starbucks, Torchy's, Raising Cane's, Indian restaurant if you like that, Chick-fil-A, and then you also have your HEB, right? So your HEB is right there. So like I said, there's a lot right off 380, really not too far from you. You have a Costco too, that's gone in. So you have a lot, really not too far. So like I said, that's about 20 minutes from most communities. Then of course the growth is continuing upwards. Right, that is one of the downsides of Celina, is it's not near as convenient as Frisco or Prosper, but it's much, much more affordable. That's the trade-off though. Okay, here we go. So zooming in, right, you have the DNT right here. First one we'll talk about is Light Farm. Okay, so zooming out, right, you've got the Dallas North Tollway. We'll start with Light Farms, which is right here. It's just on this side of the tollway. And then we'll talk about Cambridge Crossing, which is just up and across. So Light Farms is one of the older Celina communities. It started in 2012, over 4,000 homes. They're almost done. They have a few more phases. This is a great community. Now homes here start from the 500s and go to $2 million. So you have a super wide range. Of course, you have this little pond with a beach area right here, pavilion, tons and tons of walking trails, as you can tell. I don't know what Laughter Financial is. It's kind of a funny name. And then you have tons of ponds, which when I go tour these communities, I have to start taking a fishing pole. I like to fish. I would imagine it may be something you like to do or like to do with your kids. It'd be good for me to find out for you. Now, you also have 5 resort-style pools, elementary school inside the community, pickleball, tennis, basketball courts. It's a super big community. If you like a busier, it's a big golf cart community too. So a ton of people ride their golf carts around. They have the barnyard too, which is like a green open space event community center. You have a ton of great builders to choose from, but I've got a video overview on that, so I don't want to spend too much time on all these communities. We want to give you a little bit of information on each one. Now, if we go to, let me get this to go away so you can see it. If we go to Mustang Lakes, which is again one of the premier communities here, again, it's a little bit older. They still have some new construction, but it's almost about done. Now, homes here are going to be from 400 all the way up to 2 million. You have some great amenities, a little bit higher HOA, as you can tell. Really big pond in the middle, pools, pickleball, basketball, tennis courts. They have a clubhouse here with a fitness center. Now, something to note, and I forgot to tell you about Light Farms, is Light Farms is in Prosper and Celina ISD. It's the same with Mustang Lakes. So, right, we need to talk about school district. That's important. Now, which school district is best really depends on your family and your kid. Prosper is a little bit more established. It is higher rated on a lot of the school websites. It's like an A rated 90 or 91 out of 100 versus Celina is a lot smaller feel. It's newer, so it's not as established. It's a B rated or an 87 out of 100. So they're both good. It just depends which environment is best for your kid. So I have some videos on that as well, Prosper versus Celina ISD, that'll really dive into that and help you make a decision. So they're both good school districts. We just want to make sure when we're searching in these communities on that Celina Prosper border that we make sure we get you the home in the right school district. So let me know which one's important to you and we'll go from there. Again, if you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me. All my contact info will be in the comments. You can call, text, email. Happy to help however I can. So that's where Mustang Lakes is, which you've got a ton of fields. That'll be a neighborhood right here. This is Astor Park. Yep, Astor Park. So that one is a McKinney address, Prosper ISD. So, which you have a gun range back there. So that's something that may be good to know. So this is a pretty cool community. It's a lot more built out than what it shows on maps. So moving from Mustang Lakes to Mosaic, and we'll work our way north, and then we will talk about commute time. So you have Mustang Lakes, Light Farms right here, sorry. And then you have Mosaic. So these are the further south communities. Of course, they come with a little bit more of a price tag since they are so much closer to everything. But Mosaic's about 300,000 to 1.3 million. Now, single family homes are a lot more expensive. Those are townhomes that start in the 300s. They also have an on-site elementary school. They have a lazy river as well in Mosaic. Hold on, they don't even have it. Dang, they don't even have it on, this imagery is a little dated. If I can find it, sometimes my footage gets deleted on my computer. I have some drone footage of it. You have this big lake and you have an awesome lazy river. I do have a video about Mosaic as well. So I can only link so many through. So if you like any of these communities, like I said, go search my channel. They'll be there. You have a lazy river, pools, ponds, on-site elementary school, walking trails, right? This is a lot more developed than what it shows here on Google Maps. So you have Highland Homes, American Legend, Perry, 50 to 70 foot lots, and then your townhomes are over here. So this one is in Prosper ISD. So it's a Celina address, Prosper ISD. So that's what I mean. You can't rule out Celina as a whole if you want Prosper ISD, because you may get a little cheaper home, but the school district is a huge driving factor in these. Like Liliana is also in Prosper and Celina ISD, and the ones in Prosper sell for more and sell faster. Same with like Frisco that are in a McKinney address. So a lot of factors into that. So I know it can be confusing. That's what I say. Feel free to reach out with any questions. I don't care if you think you're 2 years out from making a move, don't even know if you're going to make a move. I'm happy to help you make a decision. It's just as much my job to help you decide on North Texas as it is to tell you you're going to hate it if you move here. So the next community we're going to go over is Cambridge Crossing, which again was just across from Light Farms. You have Light Farms right here, Dallas North Tollway extension coming through here, Collin County Outer Loop coming, whoops, click on that, coming through Cambridge Crossing. So right now you have it here. This is phase 5. Again, a lot more developed, but you do have the outer loop that's right here, and they're going to have, I think it was 100 feet or 100 yard buffer between it. Now, this is a great community. Homes here start from 400 and go to 1.2 million. They have some awesome 1-stories that are up to 3,700 square feet, some great 2-story options. You have Highland, Perry, Union homes, some great builders in here, but please tell me their amenity centers. Okay, one of their amenity centers is on here. So they're opening their last phase. They have probably another year or two in this community to build out. This is a 2.5 acre amenity center. They have some really cool, let me see if I can drop the little dude and show you this architecture on this, because it's super cool. That wasn't a great view. I've got some drone footage I'll lay over. There it is. Pretty cool view there. Now I gotta exit street view. Okay, there we go. So you have pool, pickleball, basketball courts. This pool is super busy. I went on a Tuesday. I had a client interested in some floor plans here, went to film for them. They will be posted on the channel as well. And it was a Tuesday. There had to have been 24 people, kids there with their parents hanging out playing. So it's a super active community, lots of trails. They have fishing tournaments in these ponds. So this is 2.5 acre. You have a fitness center in here. Now, this is phase 5. Phase 5 will be over here. And to be honest, I don't remember exactly where the amenity center was going over here, but it's going to be twice as big. It's going to be 5 acres. And something cool with this community is your HOA cost. It varies on lot size, but the reason for that is that covers all your lawn maintenance, front and side yards, bush trimming, mulching, weed pulling. So it covers a lot, but that 5 acre one, it's going to have a lot of the same things here. It's just going to be bigger. And they're going to have a business center in there. So if you work from home, need to get out of the house, peace, quiet work, they're going to have a place for you there, which is pretty cool. Now, of course, big advantage of this one and Light Farms is, as you can imagine, they're right by the DNT, especially this one. You turn on the outer loop, bam, you're right on the DNT. So it's going to be a much shorter commute since you're literally right outside one of the major highways. That's also the reason for a little bit higher price point, but that's enough about it. I have an old video about Cambridge Crossing. I need to make an updated one because so much has changed since I went out there. Phase 5 is opening. Highland Homes has some brand new 50-foot floor plans rolling out. Let's talk about Legacy Hills next. This is going to be one of your further north communities up here. We have 2 more communities after this, and then we'll go into your commute. So I have mixed feelings about Legacy Hills. Great entry point, 7 sections. It's on a golf course. I'll tell you about that in a minute. That's kind of why I don't like it, which I know sounds weird, but I'll tell you. So homes here start in the 300,000 to 600,000 range. You have some great builders. You have Pulte, DR Horton, Taylor Morrison, First Texas Homes, and Windsor Homes. Great neighborhood. It's one of the most affordables. You can get like 3,500 square feet for under 600,000 here. They also have Adele Webb. Let me tell you what I don't like about it. Well, some of these are in a mutter pit. That's not what I really don't like about it, because that's part of Celina. I have a video about Mutter Pit too. I promise I'm not trying to just send you to all my videos. But if I stopped and talked about everything in this video, it could be 2 hours long. So here's what I don't like about it. 1, the only amenities done are the Del Webb 55 plus. Now, one of them, was it Pinnacle? I think it was Pinnacles, was supposed to be done at the end of August of 2026. Brookshire, I think it was. I don't remember. There was another one that they had plans started. It's supposed to be done next year. And then the First Texas Home section, which was the Bluffs. Yeah, it's not even loaded on this map yet. This map is so outdated, but it's good enough to give you an idea. So they're just starting the planning phase. Now, one, I didn't like. I was asking this to find out, to prepare for a video. The lady was really rude, the developer. So I didn't like that, but that's not a reason to not move into the community. But what I didn't like is she really had no idea when the other 4 sections were going to be completed. It was just kind of like, oh, cross my fingers, hopefully they'll be done soon. It's kind of slow. So I don't like that because the HOA is $1,000 a year. It varies section to section, but it's about $1,000 a year. And there's people that have lived here 2-3 years that their amenities aren't done, and they're paying for amenities that aren't there. So that would drive me nuts. If you're moving here, have young kids, want those amenities, I would be very cautious about Legacy Hills right now. Now, if you watch this video, in 2027, 2028, maybe updated. They may have more amenities. But the other thing I don't like, so it's on a golf course, right? Which is great. It's cool. They have an 1876 country club, which is super cool. It's great. The problem is it's $50,000 to join it, plus $600 to $700 a month. Now, they don't advertise that a whole lot. That may not be an issue for you, but I feel like if you're building, right, $300,000 to $600,000 homes, most of those are either first-time homes, move-up homes, or you could be downsizing, but $50,000 is a lot. Now, I'm sure it's a great country club, but that's something I don't hear talked about a whole lot, is the cost to join it, plus another $600 or $700 a month. So if you're moving from out of state and downsizing, maybe no problem, but if you're like, hey, we want a great first home, starter home, move up home, because they do have some 5-bed options in the 5s. So have some great options, but just caution you with that. It's the only downside to it, along with it is pretty far north. It's like an hour and 15 minutes to Dallas. So if you commute to Dallas, I don't think I'd recommend it to you, but that's your call. Like I said, it's also in a mud and PID, and parts of it are in an MMD. So some of your tax rates are like 2.8%. So you might, if you get in one of those sections, you can probably buy in a further south, have about the same size home and a lower payment. Now, here's the good news. You see where Legacy Hills is. You have North Sky right here, which I'll zoom out so you can see it. It's right there. So it's further north. But here's what I like about it. So you have 3 builders. You have Taylor Morrison, which is like your entry level. They're like $300, and then you have American Legend, which is your mid-tier, and then you have your Perry that'll go to mid-700s. Now, it's not in a mud or PID. It's not a super flashy neighborhood. It's got the amenities you need. You have pools, parks, walking trails, green space. It's not like a Light Farms, not like a Mosaic or Mustang Lakes, where it's got some super crazy amenities, but it has what you need. It's affordable, right? $300,000 to $700,000, great walking trails. That's your amenity center and pool, playground. So it's got great amenities, 2% tax rate. I think this is one of the communities your money stretches the furthest. It's in Celina ISD. You have an elementary school going in right across the street. So I think this is a great value neighborhood. Now, also have a video of that. So go check that one out. Now, the last one is going to be Ramble, which is, again, not very far. It's right off 289, which is one of your major corridors. And then, of course, it's kind of where it breaks off. So it's pretty far from the DNT. DNT is going to run up here, and then 289 breaks off. So you have Ramble right here. They don't have any imagery of it, but that's okay. You can see where it is, where it trails. You have a pond. You have your amenity center right here. You have a coffee shop right here, and this is the HOA. So you've got a really long entrance. So while you're right by Highway 289, it's not like Highway 289 runs right here. It's pretty far off of it, so you really don't hear it once you're in the community. Now, super awesome community, homes from 400 to 1.2, 40, 50, 60, 74, and 84-foot lots. Now, the 74 and 84-foot lots are by Dries and Highland. They start in the 800s, and of course, they can get pretty crazy on price depending what you do. Some of them have 4-car garages. Now, you are in an MMD. Your HOA is a little higher, but your HOA includes your internet and front lawn maintenance, like Cambridge Crossing did. So there's some trade-offs there. Again, guess what? I have a video on it. So you can check that out if you really want to go in depth on some of these communities, but this video is really just to give you an overview of where everything is in Celina. I lied. There's one more I want to tell you about. So go down here. It's a lot further south. Parks at Wilson Creek. They have a ton of amenities. Whole lot. They have pool, pickleball courts, fitness center, and great builders. They're from 400 to 1.3 as well. And big advantage is they have a planned 100-acre city park in the community. If that comes to fruition or not, I don't know, but it is planned. So let's talk about your commute times. Now, when I do these commute times, right, I just did it from center Celina. So if you're in Light Farm, it's gonna be a little shorter. Legacy Hills, add probably 10 or 15 minutes. So If you want to get to Frisco, you're about 20 to 30 minutes. Again, probably going to take the Dallas North Tollway to Frisco or Highway 289. If you avoid tolls, it's of course going to take a little bit longer. Now, if you want to go to the Star, that is down in Frisco, right by 121. Yeah, Stonebriar right here. And then you have, come on, load. The Rough Riders field, which is not the Cowboys, the Rangers AAA team. And then here it is. Here you go. You have the Star right here. So the Star is about 30 minutes, which is pretty cool. If you like to go watch football, you can watch them practice in here. They also have a big projector right here. You can watch the game. You're not too far from it. Now, Legacy West, which is North Plano, where probably a lot of your jobs may be, depending when you move here. You're about 35 or 40 minutes, which is just right down here. This is Legacy West, kind of your shopping and dining right here. There's actually some pretty cool homes right here. A lot of them are 3 stories, have elevators. They're anywhere from like 800 to high 1 million. So as you can tell, you have Toyota Lexus, Toyota headquarters right here, FedEx headquarters. So you have a lot. Now, just Plano itself, which is, as you can tell, quite a bit further from over here. You're about 45 minutes. Now, I got to go back because you're right by the Colony Shields. You have, well, this is like a water park, which is pretty cool if you have kids. Ton of fun, water slides, lazy river. You have Top Golf. You also have Shields right by Heart 8 Barbecue. Great barbecue. Let's see. Shields right here, great for all your outdoor sports needs. Then you have Andretti's and Grandscape right here. Why is it not popping up? There it is. I don't know why the name didn't pop up. You have Andretti's right there. Cool go-kart racing, arcade games, bowling, all of that. So a lot of your things to do are going to be a little bit further away, but you still have some in Celina. Now, of course, Prosper's only like 15 or 20 minutes. You're basically next door to Prosper. If you work in McKinney area, you're about 30, 35 minutes. So still not bad. Like I said, Celina's not as far out as it seems. Now, if you're moving from somewhere, you're used to a 10-minute commute, it's going to seem far out. Now, if you have to travel or fly a lot for work, you're about 45 minutes or an hour from the DFW Airport right here. And then Dallas itself, you're about an hour and 15, depending what part of Celina, and if there's a wreck or not. I'm gonna be honest, it's probably closer to hour 15, hour and a half. Realistically, if you've got to commute to work. If there's no traffic, you're probably at that 45 minutes to hour and 15. Now, let's talk about future growth. I've already kind of hit on it. Why Celina? Why do so many love Celina? It's a lot cheaper, of course, right? It's further out. The growth hasn't caught up. Like some of these homes, there's some really nice $600,000 homes in Celina that you put them in Prosper or Frisco. I mean, they're $750 at least. So it's a lot more affordable. It's a little bit further out. Of course, the major growth is this Dallas North Tollway extension. That's going to cut down your commute. It's going to bring everything to you. Of course, you have in North Frisco right here, you have the Fields and PGA headquarters right here. So you have PGA. This is the Fields. This is a really cool home I toured. Well, that's a model. I did tour it. There's really cool homes here. Of course, the preserve is going to be the gated section of the field. So you have a lot coming to you. Of course, like I told you about up here in Legacy Hills, there's supposed to be an HEB in 2028. So it's a couple years away. That's the thing. Celina is a buy and wait game. You're not going to have everything right by you unless you buy in one of these Celina communities. Then everything's really, really convenient. But if you buy, like I said, pretty much from the town, Celina Town Square up, you're going to be a little bit further. Now, you also have a ton of future neighborhoods. Ramble just opened in May. North Sky is relatively new. Legacy Hills has been around for a while, but it's 3,200 acres. They're going to be building for quite some time. Mosaic's a couple years old. I completely missed where Mosaic was. Light Farms is almost done. So you have a ton of new growth, new schools opening. You're seeing a lot of on-site elementary schools in a lot of these neighborhoods. Ramble is going to have 2, hoping to have the first one open in 2027. Then, of course, you have a ton of retail opening, right by the HEB. They're going to have some commercial space. So you're going to have your other fast food places, shopping, dining, entertaining. But you may be asking yourself, okay, these are all great areas. You went over them, showed them where they are. How do I decide? Here's how I would break it down for you. If you commute, if you're hybrid, let me rephrase that. If you're commuting 5 days a week, every day to Dallas, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't suggest Celina. You can do it if you did. if you can get in, right? These communities start at least the 5s usually. You can get some pre-owns for a little cheaper. If you want updated, nice new construction, at least 500,000, probably 600,000 and up, you're gonna have to look at these. Now they're gonna be a lot smaller than the homes up here at 600,000. But if you are driving to Dallas, Frisco, Legacy West, or Plano, I definitely try and stick the communities closer to your major commute routes, right? Dallas North Tollway, Preston Roads, that'd be like Mustang Lakes, Light Farms, Mosaic, Cambridge Crossing in there, because a lot of the miles, like Ramble doesn't look that much further up, but if you buy in Ramble versus Cambridge Crossing, that's an extra 10-15 minutes each way. But with that said, there's a floor plan in here I have a client like, starts at 626 in Ramble and 650 in here. That's before any upgrade. So you can tell, just $25,000 difference. Again, not a huge bump in your monthly payment, but it's, you know, an extra 150 bucks. That adds up. Plus it's further, more commuting, so you've got to weigh that out. Now, if schools are your top priority, you don't mind commuting, or you work from home, of course, right, it depends. Do you prefer Prosper or Celina ISD? Because then, I mean, that makes it pretty easy for you. We just search by school district, which some communities are going to fit both, some aren't. Of course, if you want Prosper, you're going to have to be pretty much right on the Prosper borders. That's going to be like Mosaic, Light Farms, and Mustang Lakes. Those are going to be your top 3 most popular ones. So it's super important to check boundaries and, right, let me know that ahead of time if you're moving here, like, hey, we want this school district. We'll only be searching for those. If you just care about the amenities, right, I think Ramble's not done yet. So if you don't mind waiting, Ramble's going to have some awesome amenities, but if you want them now, Light Farms is going to be at the top of the list. Mustang Lakes, Mosaic, most of those amenities are done for the most part. Even Cambridge Crossing, right? One of theirs is done right here. And then they have another one being built. So those are going to be your top amenity communities. Again, Legacy Hills is going to have some good amenities at some point, whether that's this decade or next decade, I don't know. So if you're buying for amenities, I would definitely go for some that are at least started on construction. Now, if you really care about just newest plan or newest homes, newest floor plans, new construction, right? Almost all of these, well, Light Farms and Mustang Lakes are going to get a little trickier since they're almost done. And then Cambridge Crossing only has another year or 2. So you have a lot shorter window on those versus Mosaic, Ramble, North Sky, neighborhoods like that. So those have years. Multiple years, probably 5-ish, versus Cambridge Crossing is 2 or less. Maybe you're an investor, just want long-term growth, right? You really want to look at ones that are along the Dallas North Tollway extension that probably isn't there yet. That's going to be your biggest chance at appreciation. Of course, I can't guarantee that, so I have to be careful what I say about it. But if you're really looking for an equity jump in 5-10 years, right? Probably one of these north ones, maybe better, but we don't know what could happen. So I'd be careful buying off that unless you're an investor. If you're a family, pick the one that fits you and your family's needs the best. Now, these next 2, if it fits for you, if you want more space, of course, the further north you go, the bigger the lots, bigger the home you get. If you want everything close, you've got to go further south. If you want it close right now, not necessarily the smaller the homes, smaller the lots, the more you're going to have to pay to get those bigger lots and bigger homes. Here's how I look at it, and what I do is people that reach out to me and say, hey, Jake, we're thinking of moving here. The Celina maybe Prosper, maybe Frisco. It's like, okay, great. What's important to you? What are you looking for? Why are you moving here? What lifestyle do you want? Okay, you want a big enough backyard to put a pool. You need to be under this price point. Do you commute every day? What's your commute look like? What are you wanting to keep your commute at? Are schools important? Are you wanting a community that's already done? Or are you okay waiting? Really, once we answer all of those questions, the right community is going to stick out. So those are more important than just, great, what community have you settled on? Because then it's like a dog chasing our tail. Those are what I do for my clients. If you have any questions, you're thinking of making a move here, let me know. Did I miss anything in this video you wish I would have went over? What did you find helpful? If you're planning a move here to North Texas, whether that's in the next 9 days, 9 months, 9 years, whatever it is, reach out to me. I'd love to help you make a smooth move here to Texas, and let me know what I can do. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you here in Texas soon.